Bones are a living tissue. Bones are constantly remodeling. They're growing, they're breaking down. When we fracture a bone, we have a remodeling process where certain cells go in and kind of repair and patch those fractures. When we get beyond menopause and we don't have some of those hormones related to specifically bone strength, we have to kind of fight harder for those bones to stay stronger through weight bearing exercises, your audience knows. But what's interesting is these chemicals, literally thousands of them, but the ones that have been most well studied as hormone disruptors or endocrine disrupting chemicals, and what I've written about in two books before, is really an interesting area when it comes to bones, osteoporosis, osteopenia, because we know that not just hormones of fertility, growth and development, brain health, male and female genitalia in utero, all of those are hormone derived or managed, I should say, processes, but certainly bone development as well, bone maintenance and bone strength. And when we're talking about chemicals that have the ability to affect hormones like estrogens and mimic them even at low levels, even block androgens and other male hormones, we can see that there's a very important problem that could be happening when we're exposed to these chemicals, especially on a day to day basis over the course of a lifetime. I'm not talking about necessarily occupational exposures or manufacturing spills or something of that nature, but really low level exposures over time, chemicals that mimic hormones and disrupt their normal physiology, their normal signaling process. And we're also talking about parathyroid hormone, and that affects calcium vitamin D balance, thyroid hormone, which affects metabolism, that also plays into bone. The goal is not just to think about chemicals affecting those areas that have gotten a lot more attention, puberty being earlier onset, fertility, and those things, but to think also how bone can be affected and why it's so important to reduce those exposures wherever we can.